What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of Crypto GameCheck. Today, we're checking out Townstar. Now let's get started with the earning potentials. There are two modes of earning. In last week's video, I talked a bit about each of these. So, if you want to know more about them, make sure to check that video out. I'm going to leave a card right here. Now, as you can see from this website, the developers have actually paused Town, the in-game asset that lets players earn by playing the game. But, as this could come back anytime, I thought let's just play the game and see how we go. So I've set up a farm, and essentially the objective of the game is that you want to try to set up your farm as if you're running an actual farm. So I've tried to get a piece of land close to water so I can grow the land and perhaps use resources that are only available if I'm close to water, right? Makes sense? And as you can see, my first purchase was a woodshed. And I'm growing some wheat, and I actually have trees in my land, so it makes sense to chop them up and try to sell them, hence the woodshed. In addition, wheat is a very valuable commodity. Or maybe I'm just thinking this because I've recently gone to the supermarket to buy my favorite cereal and it was way more expensive. So in my head I thought, yeah, if I grow wheat in a video game, it'll pay off in real life. I do feel like it's important to mention to you guys, I live on the beach, so I'm a beach boy. My farm knowledge is very limited, but the visual aspect of growing the farm is very nice, and every time you log in it's bigger and bigger and bigger, and you see more things being built and your operation gets larger. You feel like an agricultural tycoon, and if you can actually get to the top and earn Town from this, well, fair play, because it is harder than it looks. As I mentioned in the previous video, there are thousands of people in this kind of competitive service. So it is actually really hard to place in the top spots where you can earn by having zero investment. Anyways, I've started with the challenge of earning 500 stars in 7 days. Stars is what you earn that could then be turned into Town. The game has earn cycles, and this is a really cool thing, I think, because each server kind of resets in 7 days. That makes it so that everybody who wants to start the game at any time has a chance of achieving those top positions. It was a server that kept going on. There have been people who've been playing for already so long that you would never be able to catch up to them. But because every 7 days it restarts, you really get a chance at achieving those top positions. So when I started, I built and sold stuff for 2 hours, got around 50 stars, and then I couldn't sell anymore. There's a 50-day maximum in the mode that I was playing, which is the free mode, no investment required. One of the coolest things about this game is that your farm takes time to create, process, and sell. So you can actually just be doing other things and working at the same time as your farm works for itself. You could have it on a separate screen, and every now and again you just do your stuff on it and then you let it do its thing, because when you sell certain things, it actually takes like 20 to 25 minutes for the van to come up, to come back, and you can't really do much. So if you're in a position where you have the NFTs required to achieve your daily challenges to earn Town, it could actually be passive income. You could just be watching TV and every now and again you do some things on your farm and earn. But it takes time. That is what I've noticed, is that the biggest investment here is time. Because you do need to spend, just kind of be there to do things. But if you're doing other stuff, then very easy. Final thoughts. All in all, I can see why it's addictive, and it's just something that isn't too hard to do. When the earning possibilities return and they start reissuing Town, it's definitely a game I will come back to and maybe do another video on to see if we can actually earn and trade Town. In the meanwhile, you can actually buy Town at Bybit.com. And if you get some of that and you can buy some of the in-game assets, it'll probably get you a little bit closer towards achieving the goals that you want and everybody wants, which is to earn X amount of money within the game. And that has been this week's video. As always, guys, I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking this time, and be sure to subscribe to our channel to make sure you don't miss out on any videos. Turn on the notifications so you get a reminder every time something new drops. And I'll see you next week for a brand new game.